Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane. One thing that we try to deliver is to make sure that our conversation will be less than fascinating so that you can just feel free to drift off. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will listen and sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano.
And I'm your co-host, Nidhi Khanna.
Nidhi, I need to ask you this because I just heard myself say my name and I said it quite quickly, and my name is Marco Timpano. But when I said it I could see how people get it wrong. And I say this because when I go to Starbucks and I order a coffee, the names that they write, they'll often write Markle, like
Markle.
sparkle, yeah, like the word sparkle but with an M. Because I guess when I say Marco, I say it so fast, I say Marco, that they hear Markle. What about when you order a drink? What do they write? Because I'm curious to know what you get.
No, that's a good question, Marco. I tend to spell out my name. I don't even say it.
Really?
Yeah, because I know that they're going to give me a look.
So when they say a name,
Well, okay, if they say...
so
then
I'm like, okay, so you want a coffee?
Yeah.
Can I have your name?
It's Nidhi.
Oh, that's what you do. See, I do this when I'm on the phone call and they're like, can I have your first name? No, sorry. When they say, can I have your last name? So say that to me.
Can I have your last name, sir?
Starts with a T. Mm-hmm. Timpano. And the reason I do that is if they say, your last name, please, and I say Timpano, they will inevitably write Pano, and then in the first name they'll write Tim.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, so whenever they say last name, I always say starts with a T, because I know they'll have their finger on the T, and then I'll be Timpano. I'll spell it Timpano, and then I'll say Timpano, like the drum. Is what I say.
There you go.
Which most people don't know what that means.
No, they don't. Not unless they, I guess, speak Italian
But I guess that's my routine when someone asks me for my last name. That's what I do.
Right, and mine is to spell it out or to give a completely different name.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, sometimes I do
What
that.
about your last name? Do you have trouble with people in your last name because there's an H in it?
It's not so much the H, actually. It's more the double N because people hear M so first they'll say N or M, and I'll be like, N for Norman. And they're like, okay. And then I'll say N again, and then they're confused. So it's a bit of a confusing process. So I'm usually like KHA double N like Norman A.
I see. Now let me ask you this. Do you know the international words for each letter?
No,
You know what I'm talking about,
I use
right?
people's names.
Yeah, like N is a Nancy, I say.
Exactly, and it's Nancy.
But like for example, F is F like Foxtrot, Q as
Quebec.
in Quebec, right?
Yeah, I know that one. Being
Okay.
from Montreal, so
Sure.
I was like, Q is for Quebec.
Yeah. X I think is X-ray.
X-ray.
I is igloo, I think.
Is it?
What is that even called? Is it the
International? I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like, yeah, it's not like, it's like the international call signs, I want to say.
I don't know. Nidhi's going to look that up while
Okay.
I talk about other routines that I have.
Yeah, what's your morning routine?
Oh, so do you want me to say what it should be or what it actually is?
Why don't you start with what it should be, and then we'll go into what it actually is.
I should wake up nice and early, make myself a breakfast, brush my teeth, comb my hair, take a shower, all that business, enjoy a tea, read a little bit, and then get ready to go to work.
Read a bit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Like a newspaper or something.
Or something.
Okay.
Wake up, hit snooze. Snooze bar hit, alarm goes on, hit snooze again. Realize I don't have much time, race into the shower, brush my teeth, fix my hair, put on my clothes, out the door, maybe grab an apple, and then I'll have coffee when I get to work. So no breakfast, no reading, no time to chill. But I'm not a morning person.
I'm not a morning person either.
So what's your routine?
Well, first we need to go with what your routine usually is. Oh no, we did talk about that. Sorry,
no.
You snooze that many times.
At least once. At least one snooze. At most 4.
Okay. I'm kind of on the same wavelength as
Okay.
you. So I would love to. So on the days that I don't have like my regular day job, so like the weekends,
Sure.
I'll naturally wake up and kind of laze around a little bit, but I'll get up and I'll
Sure.
do stuff. Invariably, when I know I have to go to work, it's like my body is like, I don't want to get up yet.
Sure.
So, which is weird because I like my job, but you just kind of don't want to sleep.
Right. Fair.
I mean, you want to sleep in, right?
Right.
Or you just, I don't know what it is. So I end up snoozing at least a couple of times, pressing
Awesome.
snooze. I actually set 3 different alarms,
Oh.
which all have their own respective snooze
Sure.
components. Which is a bit odd because if I would just learn to get up when the alarm set, I'd probably get a good extra hours of sleep in there.
Right.
But alas, I don't. So I get up. I first put the water on to make the coffee.
Oh, so you even make yourself a brew of some sort. Okay.
Because I use a French press, so I want the water to go because I know I'm going to actually have to let the coffee stand
right.
for a bit. So I do that, then I kind of get dressed and do my makeup and put my clothes on. While having the coffee, I'll also listen to podcasts in the morning.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so like it's my favorite time to listen to podcasts. I like listening to some inspirational ones.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite inspirational podcast?
Good question. I mean, I've listened to some of the Hay House podcasts.
Sure.
So I find those interesting because there's a lot of them. I also like Aisha Tyler's podcast,
Okay.
Girl on Guy. I find that inspirational in its own way as well.
She has problems with insomnia, doesn't she?
She does, I think.
Yeah. We'll have to get her on our show.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Yeah.
A lot of people actually listen to our podcast when they get up.
Yes, I know.
Which is unusual, right? Because the podcast is meant for you to sort of relax, drift off to sleep, and just the goal is that you will find slumber. Right?
But we did have that one listener who said that they like to actually listen to us while they're getting up in the morning because
my sister-in-law, the same thing. Not
Really?
Becca, but my other sister-in-law.
Yeah.
She's like, I love to listen to your podcast while I'm putting on makeup and getting ready for work because she's like, it's really calm and relaxing. It sort of eases me into my day.
You know what? It's funny you say that because my colleague Jane actually said something similar in the sense that she listens to it while she's driving because in traffic it makes her feel calm. And I was like, Jane, just be careful.
Yeah, we'll just put a warning out there. So do not operate heavy
And
machinery or vehicles while listening to a podcast. You listen at your own risk. But yeah, that's pretty awesome that you listen to. I want to do that.
Like that.
I want to do that.
I like it. I find it's a good time because, like, in the morning, my mind is fresh and, like,
Sure.
I'm able to actually absorb what's being said. I listen to podcast playlists sometimes. That's a CBC podcast with Lindsay Michael, my friend Lindsay.
Oh, hi, Lindsay. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Hi, Lindsay. It's the Nidhi Shout Out podcast
Love
today.
it. Yeah.
And I also listen to, what was the other big one that I listened to? I said the Hay House. I said Girl and Guy. And podcast playlists. Those are my kind of 3 go-tos.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Speaking of rituals, or routines, I should say, not rituals. What's your routine with regards to watering plants, Nidhi?
I tend to kill plants, Michael.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
No. So, I mean, this is actually, there is a house plant that I have kept alive for the last 2 months since I moved into my new
Spiky
place.
Jones, that spiky one that I like.
The spiky one's easy because you don't really have to water it.
Okay.
It's a succulent, so. But then there's the other one that kind of just grows and grows and grows. The one next to the spiky one, if you remember.
I don't remember.
No.
I like the spiky one.
Yeah, I guess your eyes were on the spiky one. So that one
Is it a spider plant, that one? The other one?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
And then I just recently acquired...
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It has kind of like teardrop leaves.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. That's a great house
I was
plant.
asking you, how do I know if it's dehydrated or not?
And what was my response?
Your response was like, no, it looks healthy. So I was like, great. And I recently acquired an orchid.
Oh, yes.
Which I actually had to go to social media to ask how to properly...
Just put an ice cube a week, right?
Okay, so I know this now. I accidentally watered the orchid when I got it. And then my mom came over and a few days ago, and she said, I saw your message on Facebook. And she's like, you're going to kill this orchid, because she lifted the orchid out of the pot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess the way the orchid had been given to me, it was in sort of a clay pot that had...
no drainage on the bottom?
No, it had drainage under the bottom, and then was in another pot that didn't have any drainage. So she lifted up the one that had the drainage in it, and there was all this water underneath. And she's like, see this? We have to get rid of this. And so... Thank goodness my mom rescued the orchid, because it would have drowned.
You're a plant killer.
I know.
I have that. See this money tree here?
Yeah.
So do you know about money trees?
You know, my mom rescues plants from the dead.
Awesome.
And she rescued a money tree back from the dead, essentially.
Well, money tree, you're supposed to... You're not supposed to buy one for yourself. It's supposed to be given to you. And it's supposed to bring prosperity and money, right? So killing a money tree is probably not a good thing.
No.
So try not to do that.
No.
But their leaves tend to go yellow.
Yeah, see, like this to me looks like it's dying.
But look at the top leaves. Do you see how there's growth happening on the top there?
Yeah.
So I looked it up because I was concerned, because some of the leaves turned yellow, and I brought it from outside to in. And on one of the sites it said it's sort of one of the characteristics of this particular plant is that some of the leaves will go yellow and fall off, but none to worry, because there are more leaves to come, so just beware. So that's my mom has a green thumb.
So does mine.
She once put a stick in you know how sometimes you have like a viney plant, you put a stick so that it'll climb up the stick or whatnot? The stick made a leaf. The stick, I swear the stick started to grow.
Stop.
I'm not joking. It was like... And the stick was this long, it looked like a staff. It looked like Moses' staff. So she put it in this plant.
She worked a miracle.
And the top of the stick, a leaf grew. And I was like, what? And yeah, she's like great with plants. She has a green thumb.
Dreaming of getting the all-new iPhone 17 Pro designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever?
Then stay in bed and let a Boost Mobile expert deliver and set it up for you.
Oh, actually, they will have to get up and open the door.
Oh, right.
Delivery available for select devices purchased at boostmobile.com. Terms apply.
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
When it comes to managing money, forget the hype and look at the results. Bill has $1 trillion of secure payments powering our bill pay tools. Instead of just moving money, Bill is powering the financial operations of nearly 500,000 customers. So stop the guesswork and start scaling with the proven choice. Ready to talk with an expert? Visit Bill.com/proven to get started. And grab a $250 gift card as a thank you. Terms and conditions apply. See offer page for details.
Do you have any other particular rituals, like ones that you're like, hey, this is an odd thing that I do, but I gotta do it.
Oh, I'm sure I do.
Or has anyone commented, like, I mean, Amanda might be like, Marco, why do you do that?
I don't know. I tend to shake my food on spoons before I eat it. Have you ever seen me do it?
No, I haven't, but I will now.
Yeah. If I have, I think it's spoons, because I remember my mom was like, "Why are you shaking your food?" And I don't even realize I do it. So if I have food on a spoon, I'll shake it a little bit before I eat. I have no idea.
Oh,
I guess it's to like
interesting.
make sure that it's the amount that's appropriate for the spoon is on there, and any excess drips down. I'm probably sure it's a sort of nervous habit or a habit of that.
Interesting. Interesting. I and I don't know if this is actually OCD type behavior,
Okay.
but I have a thing where it's like I need to check that every single appliance is off before I leave my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you do that? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Be careful that doesn't manifest into something.
No, when I mean every single, okay, that was a bit like dramatic the way I said that, but like I have to check that the stove is off
Okay.
and that like a hair iron is off or anything
Okay.
that if I've used an appliance right before leaving my place,
Abode, yeah.
my abode, I have to check that it's off.
Okay.
I know
think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. That's fine.
Like the iron or the. Have you ever come back to check something?
Oh, I have. Yes. I do it a lot with my alarm.
Oh, interesting.
Because what happens is you set the alarm and it gives you like a 30-second countdown.
Oh, your home alarm.
Yeah, my home
okay,
alarm.
okay.
Sorry, my home alarm. And so it gives you a 30-second countdown. And then sometimes I don't, like when I close the door, I'm not sure if I closed it properly. And I'm like, oh no, did I accidentally open it? And does that trigger the alarm? So it's like, so I do this kind of in and out with the alarm system. And yeah, that's...
You know, as much as humans enjoy ritual or routine, really, dogs, you think, would love them.
Right. You have a dog.
I do have a dog. For some reason, my dog hates walking
Really?
on a leash, yeah. And I thought it was like a ritual thing or like
Sure.
a routine thing where it's like she just needs to learn the same
Behavior,
pathway
sure.
every morning, you know, and we're going to get up, we're going to go for a walk, and here's the walk area. But no, I have the weirdest dog in the world that doesn't want to walk.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I don't think cats need to have so much routine.
Cats do their own thing.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I just bought an electric blanket.
And how is that going for you?
I've never owned an electric blanket
What
before.
does that do? Like, does it heat up the blanket?
Have you never experienced an electric blanket?
No.
Okay, well, talk, because I'm going to throw one on.
Okay, well, I mean, I've experienced a regular blanket, like a duvet, a warm, comforting duvet, or like a hot water bottle with a duvet. Okay, all right. This is an exciting moment. It's very plush.
I just draped the blanket on Nidhi.
The draping is the correct word given the color of this. I feel very regal.
Well, I had to ask my wife, I'm like, okay, electric blankets are on sale. What color do you want me to get? And she's like, use your best judgment. And they had blue ones, brown ones, and this... What color would you say that? Maroon or burgundy?
Mauve?
No, it's
Burgundy?
not mauve. Burgundy. I think it's
You
burgundy.
seemed really disgusted.
It's not mauve. Do you know what color? Do you know what color mauve is?
Well, yeah, okay, fine. Burgundy. I like burgundy.
It's so not mauve. But anyways,
Okay, mauve
so,
is more eggplanty, right?
that's mauve.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess
It's like in the same family. It's not like I was so off.
for me you're off. But
Okay.
anyways, so I was like, I'm gonna get red because it'll stand out from all our other blankets, because we have brown and blue blankets, but we don't have a red one. And the thing that puzzles me about electric blankets is it starting to get warm?
No, I'm not feeling anything yet.
Oh no.
Is it on?
Yeah, we'll check. It's right behind you. The thing that kind of freaks me out about, or not freak, that puzzles me, is that you can wash an electric blanket. You just have to
Unplug it?
unplug the part you were looking at before, not that part, but the part that attaches to the blanket. You unplug that and you just throw it in the washing machine, and hello. Good luck with that.
This is, I might have to get one of these.
Are you starting to feel warmth?
Well, no, I'm not. Oh, wait, no, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Perfect.
Oh, this is nice. This is like cuddling up with a
Yeah.
book or watching some TV.
I love blankets and duvets and things like that. Like the duvet in our room, on our bed, is so plush and so lovely. You just kind of get into it, and it kind of like just wraps you up and makes you feel great. Do you have a favorite blanket, or do you like blankets?
I love blankets. Like, I need to have a blanket everywhere.
What's an important quality for you in
For
a blanket? Yeah.
It has to have enough length in it for you to be able to, like, fully cover yourself in it. Like, I don't like blankets that are square,
Okay.
you know, that are kind of, like, I don't like, and it has to be a blanket. Like, it has to be like a duvet. I don't want a throw,
Okay.
because I like the weight of a duvet.
Versus, what's a throw, though?
Like, a throw is a lighter blanket that you might have. Like, those are throws.
Those are throws?
Yeah.
One's
I
a
would-
Mexican blanket. Would you consider that a throw? The blue one?
Well, I don't know, like a Mexican blanket from Mexico, or
Yeah, it's actually from Mexico.
okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I call it my Mexican blanket because we bought it in Mexico, but it has like a Mexican motif on it, I would say.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking less about the motif and more about like the texture and the weight of
Okay.
the actual throw. For me, a throw is something that you just have on your couch as a light covering.
Okay.
Let's say, if you wanted to have like something to snuggle with, a blanket or a duvet is like, it's bigger. It's like you can have like a fort, you know.
Okay.
It, like, you can sleep in it.
Sure.
That's
What about fringes on blankets? You like fringes
no
on?
fringes are for suckers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
fringes are for suckers. I said it.
Nidhi,
I
you
said
have
it.
like a lot of blanket, thoughts on blankets, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm not big into fringe.
Have you ever had, do you remember those things? I want to say they were called like snuggles or something. Do you remember, do you know what I'm talking about? Where you
Yeah,
kind of,
controversial.
what's that thing called?
Snuggies or something?
Snuggies.
I never got one of those.
Okay. Did you want one and you never got it? Okay.
No, I just, I want like a blanket to be a blanket. And that's all I want it to be.
That was my phone.
What?
I don't know. My phone's giving me weird messages.
That's a weird
Whatever.
beep.
You know what? And because I should shut my phone off. Remind me when we record a podcast
To shut your
to
phone
shut
off.
my phone off.
There's some things that are under the word adulting. I feel like. But what else, like in terms of comfort, like the things that you go to for comfort, what are some of those things? Like a blanket is definitely one of them.
A tea. I love a tea.
Yeah.
So a tea and a blanket and a television show, or tea, blanket, and a nice book. Or I think it's all going to start with tea and a blanket, but let me think of other things. I know my wife loves a warm bath.
Yes, that's right.
I'm trying to think of like, when you've been outside and it's been very cold. We live in Canada, so our winters, and in particular Montreal has even harsher winters than Toronto does. But I try to think, when I come in from outside, I should just say, on a side note, I just bought fleece jeans.
I'm sorry?
Fleece jeans.
What are those?
So they're lined with fleece on the inside, but they're jeans on the outside. And the reason I bought them is because when I'm on my scooter and it gets cold, the fleece jeans will keep me very warm. And I was really excited to find them because I've only ever seen fleece jeans for women.
Okay.
And that's not to say that there aren't any for men, but I've never seen any that looked stylish enough for me to wear. Now, that said, it looks like it's kind of like a really thick jean, so it looks kind of huge on me. But yeah, I think they're right over there. Look at that. Is the blanket getting you warm?
I'm loving the blanket right now. Yeah.
See,
This
I
is
feel
great.
like it's not. That's on high,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like it's hot enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you think that's hot enough?
Well, how much hotter do you want to
I don't know, but when I
get?
put it on high, I want it to like fry an
You
egg
want
or
to cry?
something.
Oh, really? Wow.
No, I just think
It should be.
higher. Have you ever used a what are those things? Hot water.
Oh, I
Bottle?
love hot water
Oh,
bottles.
really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like a hot water bottle, essentially.
Right.
This
When
blanket.
do you use a hot water bottle? Like, do you have one in your home right now?
Yes.
Is it the rubbery ones that look like the classics and it sort of...
Yes, except it has a covering.
Oh, so like a fancy
Yeah.
sort of...
Yeah, which I need to actually replace. So, Christmas gift.
Sure. You need to replace the covering
The covering.
or the whole water
No,
bottle?
the
Okay.
covering.
Now, Amanda, if you're ever in a pinch for a hot water bottle, it says, she filled a wine bottle with hot water
Oh,
and put a cork in it and put it in the bed, and it warmed up the bed for her.
wouldn't that burn you, though?
I think she threw it in the bed and let it warm up the bed.
Oh, and
she
then
got
took it.
it.
Yeah,
and then,
so I think
and she
that's how
kept
they-
it there, and it still provided heat for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty
I think
cool,
that's
eh?
how they used to do it, like, back in the day. Is they used to have these, like, metal, cylindrical things that you would put the water in. Kind of like an iron, essentially, that they would put in the bed.
That's right. I think they... No, correct me if I'm wrong, Nidhi, because clearly we both don't know the answer to this, but I think they had like a... Okay, it was like a... Have you ever seen a chestnut roaster? What it looks like? So picture a chestnut roaster, which once again is a very obscure thing. But they used to put coals in the chestnut roasters and then put them in the bed
yeah.
and iron the inside of the bed so it was warm for the person getting in. And this is back in the old days, like prior to like maybe even our parents didn't experience these things.
No, like, I understood that this would be more around the time of, like, so for our listeners who might not be aware of the landscape of Ontario, there is this place called Upper Canada Village between, I think it's like near Kingston before, like it's further east from here.
I have no idea. I just know.
Are you serious? You don't know Upper Canada Village?
I know that Ontario's Upper Canada.
Yeah.
And Quebec was
is
Lower Canada. And this is back in the
Yes, but they
Royalist days.
So they have this, like, I don't even want to call it a theme park because that makes it sound so much more fun. But it's like this pioneer theme park, I guess, where people dress up in pioneer outfits and there's actors and they you go
They're called
there.
animators.
Animators, sorry.
No, it's all right.
Sorry. Animators, and they are showcasing what life was like
Back in the day.
And I remember we went, actually not to Upper Canada Village, but recently I went to, like, the Laura Secord house near Niagara or something.
I didn't know Laura Secret's house was Niagara. In Niagara?
It's like near Niagara.
Oh, cool.
And they showed one of these, whatchamacallits,
One of these, like,
hot chestnut roaster things.
roaster things for the bed.
And I remember even then thinking, that feels like it's dangerous, but...
Back in the day, sure. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of, you had to be careful with that.
You did. But for now, I will enjoy this electric blanket, as I hope that our listeners have enjoyed this episode.
You seem like you're nodding off a little bit.
I am, actually. I'm just going to go and play back this episode and fall asleep on your couch, maybe.
Anytime. Thank you for listening. Follow us at Listen and Sleep. As always, our podcast is produced by Drumcast Productions, and this episode was recorded in Toronto, Canada, in Upper Canada.
Sure.
Upper Canada? What was formerly called Upper Canada.